Now to New Jersey, where police say a 61-year-old man was killed and 14 others were hurt in a lightning strike during a Cub Scout outing at an archery club in Jackson Township.
Kristie Keleshian heard from the parent of a young boy who was burned and from an instructor who was there.
That's right. The question everyone's asking is, what are the chances? Those who were here last night say it wasn't raining, there was no severe weather warning, and that it was just cloudy. When out of nowhere, a lightning bolt struck a tree just feet from where we're standing now during their archery lesson.
My kid's hurt. He was struck by lightning. His shoes are off his feet. Goodbye.
That's all Tom Coopy was able to tell 911 dispatchers on Wednesday night after his son, 10-year-old Ryan Coopy, was struck by lightning. Police say that lightning strike also killed 61-year-old instructor Robert Montgomery and injured at least 13 others. In a heartfelt Facebook post, Coopy thanked first responders for their help and tells us his son is resting as he heals from second-degree burns on his foot. Mass chaos is how he described it all, and what was supposed to be an outing for Cub Scout Troop 204.
I turn around and look, and there's bodies on the ground. Adults, kids, burns, just other parents and kids screaming.
The impact, his dad tells us, knocked the boy out of his socks and sneakers, which ended up being shredded by the impact. 25-year member of Black Knight Bow Benders Archery Club instructor Mike Luster says,
"This was a flash. I thought it was a bomb, and that was it. I was on the ground."
Scouts of America in a statement said in part, quote, "Our thoughts and wishes for good health and healing are with all those involved," and that all but one of its members were released from the hospital Wednesday night. Luster showed us the damage on the tree struck by the bolt.
I'm shaking. I'm still very upset, crying. It should have been me. That was my position.
And Coopy tells us that the Cub Scout troop wants to hold a thank you benefit for all the first responders who helped in the near future. And he says that 10-year-old Ryan, despite all this, still wants to work his way up to Eagle Scout. In Jackson, New Jersey, Kristie Keleshian, CBS News, New York.
We're thinking of all those families here tonight. And by the way, according to the National Weather Service, this is the 12th lightning fatality in the U.S. this year, 2 of them happening in New Jersey.
Let's bring Lonnie back in to talk about the dangers of lightning, especially when there aren't a lot of active storms in the area, and how one strike can injure so many people.
It is crazy. You know, what KJ just said, 2 within the last, what it's been, 2 weeks. Let's talk 3 weeks, though, and put the golf course strike that was out there as well. We've had 3 lightning strikes in 3 weeks in this area. As far as fatalities go, New Jersey has had 2. That is tied with Georgia and North Carolina for the most deaths caused by lightning so far this year. Typically, by July 16th, we will have had in the country 10 fatalities due to lightning. Right now, we rest at 12, so we're a little bit ahead of that pace, unfortunately. I want to talk to you about what was going on last night, because you bring up some great things, like how it seemed relatively calm, and then people got struck by lightning. Look at this picture. Right? You can watch that roll through the Jackson area. I'm going to fast forward it, or actually, I'm going to take it back to watch this. All right, I need you to focus on just left of where it says 195, just to the left on your TV screen. All right. That's clear air, right? The rain's not over you. We had reports from some of the eyewitnesses out there that, hey, it wasn't even raining out there. It didn't look like a storm. Here's what happens. Boom. It's only 5 miles away from the storm, but you don't have the storm over your head. Okay. And that line, ladies, I could draw it. Some storms cause lightning to strike 10 miles, 15 miles ahead of the storm. So I know it seems out of the ordinary. You know, KJ, this is where the phrase out of the blue comes from, a bolt from the blue. They had decent skies overhead, and it was 5 miles from the storm, and that is what happened. Now, a lot of folks are wondering about how do 13 people end up being hospitalized? One man dies. Well, there's a lot of lightning safety tips. I want to go over them because it's on the top of everyone's mind right now. Thunder roars, you go indoors. All right, you hear thunder, you get inside. You avoid elevated areas. Avoid tall objects in water. The 30-minute rule. After you hear the last rumble of thunder, then it's safe to go outside. I want to leave you with this. There are different types of lightning strikes. The gentleman who unfortunately lost his life didn't get hit directly by the lightning. We know it hit the tree. He was killed by a side flash. All that electricity is traveling down the tree. It's kind of crowded in that tree. Well, some of that electricity wants to bounce outside and find a shortcut down to the ground. And a lot of times it's people who are huddled under a tree trying to get out of the storm. And that was the strike there. The 13 people who were burned on the ground, that was by what we refer to as a ground current. That electricity goes into the ground, it then dissipates, but it doesn't dissipate right away. That area around the tree, and it could be a number of feet, can still cause a lightning strike.
Interesting.
Just by chance. Lonnie, that's a lot of information there to absorb, but we appreciate you explaining things.
I think it's just so important. You hear thunder. My kids get out of the pool immediately, and I still see people swimming.
Absolutely.
It kills me.
Yeah.
All of that as well during sports. Thank you, Lonnie.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Lon.
it. Coming up, we are learning more about the man who died at the archery range. We'll hear from a friend of his tonight, later at 6 o'clock.